Hi guys, welcome to the video number 237, and in this video we're going to talk about the VLOOKUP function, how to use the VLOOKUP in the VBA. I got an email actually from somebody couple of weeks back, and couple of emails actually, and you are really interested in knowing the VLOOKUP, how to use the VLOOKUP in the VBA, right? So I'm going to actually not only just going to tell you that how to use the VLOOKUP in the VBA, but also I'm going to combine it with the loop. So you will have the two different things coming together in this video, right? Okay, this is the video number 237 guys, and if you're watching my channel for the first time, and then you just need to go to the playlist. I have created different categories here. As you can see that these are all the different categories, and so we have the basic videos, we have the intermediate level videos, we have the really very awesome, pretty awesome videos on the advanced level of the VBA. We are covering the Excel VBA, MS Access and MS Access VBA, and if you're interested in knowing the functions, then I have recently started a Excel VBA function series. Actually just need to scroll it down and find it out where you have this Excel VBA function. So let's just scroll it down, and let me just scroll up. Yeah, that's the one, Excel VBA functions. When you click it there, you will get to see these basically 8 videos. So these are all the mixture of basic and advanced videos. You can watch all these videos. Okay, so now I have created a this dummy database where you have the college and you have the student enrolled and you have the year, right? So in the another sheet, if you see that we have got the colleges, right? Xavier, Carmel and Student. So now what we want to do is we want to actually run a VLOOKUP function here, not the Excel. Remember, I'm not going to talk about the Excel, because if you're interested in knowing the Excel VLOOKUP function, though it works the same way, but we are not going to write in the Excel. We are going to write this VLOOKUP in the VBA window. But if you're interested in knowing how to use it in the front end in the Excel, then you have a category here called Excel VLOOKUP and match function, right? You just need to scroll it down and find it out where exactly it is. And then you will see, I think there are 12-15 videos on the VLOOKUP, right? So just find it out where exactly it is, and you will be able to get all the information about this VLOOKUP function. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. So we have the 13 videos here, different level of videos, right, on the different scenarios. Okay, so now in the VBA, first of all, let us just go ahead and let us prepare the function. Okay, so when you write in the VLOOKUP function, what exactly you're looking forward to? You have the 4 parameters. One is the lookup table and the column number and the range lookup. So lookup is your this, which you want to find it out, and you will go in the table, and this is the table you're going to select. Basically that's your table, right? And once you select the table, then which column number? So I need the second position because I'm looking for the students enrolled. So I write here 2, and this is going to be the exact match. So I'm going to write here 0, right? So these are basically the 4 parameters. I'm not going to tell you that what are these parameters, right? Because this is not a basic video on the VLOOKUP. As I've said already, if you want to get the understanding on that, you can go ahead and watch all those the VLOOKUP videos, VLOOKUP and match videos, right? So we have the 4 parameters. Let me just write it down for you. Lookup, and the table, and the column index number, column number, and the last part is the exact match or the approximate match. So for the exact match, you always write the 0, which is here, right? Now what is going to be the lookup value? The value which you're interested in finding it out. Exactly that what it, that's what it means. So lookup value, basically value which you want to find. And table is your database, basically where it is, where you have all this information. Database where you have all the information stored, right? Okay, and then the column number is the column number position of your header, position of your header belongs to the lookup value, right? This is what exactly it means. Okay, so we need the enrolled, we don't need the year. So that is why the enrolled for this Xavier, it's on the second column, because we are starting a table like this. This is how we're going to define the table. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's create the VLOOKUP in the VBA. So what I will do, I'm going to click on the developer tab, and you hit on the Visual Basic, and let's go ahead and insert the module, right? Okay, Now what is the next thing we want to do? I'm going to create here a subroutine. So let's say finding value. Okay, now just to understand, you know, we are going to first run it only in the one cell. So which is my one cell? My one cell is the F4. Okay, so range F4 should be equals to what? You're going to write here F4 dot value equals to what? Because here we are going to use the VLOOKUP function. So I'm going to write here VLOOKUP. You see that you can start the function like this, or what you can do, you can also write the class of this function, which is I think worksheet function dot VLOOKUP. Yeah, that is also, I mean, you would see here worksheet function. Actually it's a class, it's a library where you get to see a lot of functions. As you can see, the moment I press the drop, this dot, you have a lot of functions here, so you can use all these functions. They are all part of this library called the worksheet function. Anyways, I'm going to use the VLOOKUP. And now what? Now you see that, guys, I have the 4 arguments, and though it is not clear here, because if you know the VLOOKUP in the Excel, you really don't need to, you know, remember these argument 2, argument 3. I mean, you know, it's very simple, we know that, and that is why actually I have written here, because in the VBA the VLOOKUP is not so clear, right? When you write the VLOOKUP in the Excel, it becomes so clear. It gives you so much information that this is the lookup value, table array, column number, you know. But in the VBA it says like argument 1, argument 2. But that's fine. That's why people say that knowing Excel, you know, it can be really very beneficial if you're starting the VBA programming, right? So I'm going to start the VLOOKUP function. What is the first parameter? You remember, it's a lookup value. So what is your lookup value? Which value actually you want to find it out, right? So I want to find it out the value Xavier, which is in the E4, right? So how you write? You write range E4 dot value. Okay, whatever the value I will have in the range E4, that is going to be looked up. Where? Now I'm on the argument 2. As you can see that I have pressed the comma. So now in the argument 2, what exactly we want to do? Table. So where is your table, guys? That's very important, right? So my table actually is what? My table is this table. Okay, so how you actually going to select this table? Okay, so I'm telling you the very easy way. Just select this table, and go here in your this name box and give it a name, good name. So let's say I want to give it a name called MyDB, my database, MyDB. Press enter. And you see that now whenever you click here, a drop down would come, and when you click on this MyDB, it is going to automatically select the table. This is called the how to define the name ranges. We are using the name manager basically here, right? If you want to have a look here, you can also go to this option called formula, and you can click here on the name manager. You see that is created here, MyDB. It refers to what? If I click here, it refers to this table. So now you don't have to write this entire thing, database, sign of exclamation, A1 to C15. You can simply write there MyDB, and it is automatically going to be picked up, because VBA will know that MyDB refers to this table. Very simple, right? If you want to edit it, if you want to increase the range, just go there, edit, and you can increase the range from here or decrease the range from here. Okay, if you are interested in deleting it, you can just need to select this and you can delete it. For example, let me delete this. Are you sure you want to delete? Yes. Okay, now you can also create it in another way. For example, you select this, okay, or maybe you don't need to select this and you don't have to use this. Now you see that it's not there, it's gone because we have deleted it. So what you can do, you can simply also go to the formula, and in the name manager, just click on the name manager and click on the new, and here you need to write a name. Let's say I'm going to write here MyDB. Okay, so MyDB, I'm going to add it, and then it refers to what? So I just delete everything and I give it the range, and automatically you see that in the refers to, I get to see my table. So press OK. MyDB is the name of my table. Let's just close this now. Okay, and if you press equals to, you see that you will be surprised to see that it's even coming here because it's a range now. Okay, so Excel will show you these names, and if you click on this drop down, this will come automatically there. So two ways: either you select this table and just write there, go there and type in the text and press enter, or you can simply go in the formula and you can go to the name manager and you can give the entire range there as well. Both ways are same. Okay, so in your VLOOKUP now, this is what exactly we have written. Okay, let me show you the entire formula. This is your formula basically, and the next parameter is your table name. If you remember, So after the comma, I'm going to write here table name, which is my DB. Next parameter, argument 3, as you can see, which is bold. This argument means that which column now you're looking forward to. We need the student enrolled information, and that is in this my DB table. It's on the second position, so I'm going to write here 2, and then exact match, argument 4 is 0, and that's it, guys. I think you are done. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and let me create the macro quickly here, and we're going to hit on that button. So right click, assign macro, and give it at this name finding value. Okay, now let's go ahead and run this. Okay, variable not defined. Which variable I haven't defined? Well, this is not a variable, this is a range. I believe I forgot to put the quotes, because this is your table, which is my DB, and this should go in the double quotes. Okay, let me reset the code and let's come back here, hit it. Okay, unable to get the property. So range f4 dot value equals to worksheet range. We are getting here error, and I guess this my DB, we need to fix it up with the word called range. Okay, because it is actually on the different sheet. It's on the database sheet, so I'm going to write here range, and then what is the range? That is called the my DB. Okay, and let me just run this code, and I'm going to shrink it to show you if it is working or not. Okay, so now there we go. Let us go ahead and run this code now. Okay, so this is your macro. All right, I'm going to press F8, and there we go. So we got the 232. So the error was on only this part, because I actually my data is on the different sheet, so you got to use this range, right? So let's say if you don't want to use this my DB, just in case, then what you need to do, that I think I should tell you that as well, because if you just want to write the the data there, not this range, then directly you can also write like this. You can write their range A1 to whatever you have, let's say C100, and put it in with the quotes. This is the regular your range command. And if I put the comment here and I delete this part, and we can have a look here, so it's going to be A1 to basically C15. So we got to be on the A1 to C15, and I should be on the find, otherwise I will have a problem, because this range E4 means that on the range E4 dot value means wherever your sheet is active, that is going to be considered. So if you are on the different sheet and applying the formula, you will get the error. So let's go ahead and let us run this code. All right, so here guys, we are getting the error. Okay, why we are getting the error? If I click on the debug, this is the line which is creating the error, and I guess it is creating the error because of the reason that we are not specifying here that which sheet actually this range belongs to. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to put the sheet 1 dot range here. Okay, because your data is on the different sheet. Okay, so now let me just run this, and there we go. Right, so two important points I'm telling you here. You might be thinking that VLOOKUP is in the VBA. It is actually, but only after knowing these 2 points. Now what happens if you declare your range and your data is in the another sheet, then you got to write the sheet number as well, which sheet exactly it is, right? Now when you remember, if we don't have this sheet, then it is going to look this A1 to C15 in this sheet, and the data is blank, and that is why the reason when you run this, it gives you the error. Okay, so you got to write here sheet 1 dot range. This is how you write, right? Okay, now then the question comes that why actually we haven't written here the sheet 1 dot. The answer is very simple, because you have written here a name range, which is my DB, and it is very well known to Excel that on which sheet it is actually created. So here you don't have to specify that on which sheet you are supposed to go. My DB actually means that this only refers to the database sheet, which is the sheet 1, right? So in the two ways you can do that. So any way, you can choose. If you are interested in making the ranges, you can choose it like this as well. right? Now obviously I'm not looking for the one cell here. We need to find it out, you know, all the values basically here for the other values which are like calm and steady, and there can be some more values here. So how to do this? So we're going to run the loop here. Let me just expand this. So I'm going to say that how many times I'm supposed, first of all, I'm supposed to run this loop. So the first thing which I will do is that I will be on my sheet, which is called the sheet find. Okay. If you don't know anything about the loops, please pause the video and go ahead and watch the videos on Excel VBA loops. Watch the part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6, part 7. They are all the basic videos I have talked about there for next, do loop and do until loop. Okay. So once we are on this sheet, then I want to run the loop, which would be for I equals to 1 to the last value of this, which is the last row, which is this. I want to make this dynamic. So I'm on the E column. So let's say I'll start from, you know, maybe from 10 lakh, and I use the up arrow. I'm going to capture the last row. I've talked a lot on this code in the interviews, in the interview series, in the introduction series. So I really don't think that it is really so much required. You know that what I'm talking about. So I'm going to start from the, so basically it's a shortcut key to go to the last row. So I'm going to go on, I'm using the E, and from the E 10 lakh, let's say I'm going to use the end Excel up to get the last row, and those many, you know, times I need to run the loop. And because you are on the you have the 2 extra rows on the top, 2 blank rows, and 1 is the header, so that, you know, makes it basically the 3 rows. So you got to subtract 3 from here. Okay, because when you run this code, this line range E10 lakh and Excel up, it is going to actually take you to the you know, this cell, which is the last filled value, and this is 6. So you don't want to run the 6 times, you want to run only 3 times, because 3 rows are extra. 2 are the blank and 1 is the header. We don't need that, right? So that is why I've subtracted 3 from it. And obviously because we are writing the for, so if you have seen my basic videos, you will have to write the next also. Okay, so now this is exactly has become your code. So the loop will run 3 times, and every time what it is supposed to do, it is first it has to go here, and then here, and then here. So this is my 4th row. Okay, so how I'm going to make it dynamic, because this is F4. Every time the loop run, you know, you will have the answer only on the F4. So I'm simply going to remove this 4 from here, and I'm going to join it with the value called, let's say, I plus 3, because I will start from 3. Okay, I will start from 1, and 1 plus 3 will make it 4. Remember, this is I, this is not 1. I hope you're getting the difference between this, right? So this I plus 3 will make it 4. So 4 means that I'm going to be on the F4 cell, and at the same time here also what exactly I'm going to look up in the, you know, that VLOOKUP function. This is also not, this can't be E4 all the time. So here also I'm going to write here I plus 3. Okay, I can do one thing. I can change this I maybe to small I. That looks much better, and you see that all the I's are changed. Now that is the additional tip for you. If you ever want to change your variables, then, you know, if you have used the variables a couple of times in the entire code, and you want to change it, you want to change its case, or, you know, the case, like if it is capital, you want to change it to the lower case. You don't have to do this for you know, on every place where the variable is used. You just do it on the top where exactly you're declaring, and rest of all the, you know, variables will be changed, right? So if I change this to capital I, see what will happen. This is already changed to the I. I don't want to confuse you between I and 1, that's why I'm just keeping it in the lower case. Now if you think that I write here J, let's say this, and I change this, then this will also change. Then please guys, this is not going to change, right? Because you're totally changing the variable. Then you have to do it manually. Okay, so I'm just going to keep it because capital I or small I for VBA it is same, but it's just that it actually saves your time. The moment you change the, you know, the case of this, it automatically changes everywhere. Okay, so I guess we are done with this, and the loop is going to run now 3 times, and every time we will have a different value. So let's go ahead and let's run this code, and I can maybe shrink the width of this. Yeah, let me keep it there, and let's keep it like this. Okay, and I delete this, and we're going to run this. Okay, there we go. Variable not defined. I need to define the variable also. I'm going to define I as long. Okay, there we started. Now I is 1, so you know 1 plus 3 will make it what? 4. So I'm on the F4. So on the F4, what exactly we're going to have is this value. The function VLOOKUP will work, and the VLOOKUP will use this E4. 1 plus 3 makes it 4, and when we are going to join this E with the 4, it becomes E4. So in the E4 you have Xavier. That value we are going to find it out in the range called MyDB, and you know that MyDB is on the database sheet, and then it is going to go to the, once it finds this Xavier, it is going to go in the second column of that table, and it is going to give you the enrolled numbers back. So let's go ahead and let's run this. There we go. You can see in the background it is 232. Next, now the loop is going to run again. Now the I value is 2, which means that the loop is going to run the second time. So if it is second time, then obviously this 2 plus 3 will make it 5. So now I will be on the range F5. Okay, so in the F5, what I'm going to look up is, you know that this is going to be the Kamal. Okay, so because here you have the I as 2 plus 3 makes it 5. Okay, so in this way we have beautifully used this loop. We have used this I basically in 3 ways. One is to run the loop, and then we are also using it here in printing the values, and also in using the lookup. You can declare here 3 different variables. There is no problem. For example, you can declare here J, and you can declare here K, and then you can write J equals to G plus 1, K equals to K plus 1 before it goes to the next. I mean, you got to increment then the values one by one, but I think this is fine. We don't have to declare unnecessarily so many variables. Let me press F8, and there we go. Again, the last time the loop is going to run, and the loop finishes. Okay, so now the moment I hit on this, you see that the macro is running. So in this way, guys, you can actually create the VLOOKUP. Let's just have a look here. Let me just add one more thing. There we go. Let's add here any school, and let me hit here. You see that I got the error. Why? Because ABC is not there. Now in Excel, when you write the VLOOKUP formula, you always get the error NA, but in VBA it's throwing the error because it is not able to find it out. Okay, so if it is not able to find it out, first of all, let's do it again. Let me copy the AB. Let's see that if the loop is correct or not, because I doubt if the loop can also be incorrect. So if the loop is correct, then I should be able to get this AB enrolled amount. Oh, there we go. It is working. That means, right? So it means that for any value where it is not able to find, as you know that we don't have any school here called ABC. So when I'm going to run this, it will publish all the values, but at last it is going to give the error. As you can see here, it printed 232, it printed 254, 276, but it is not printing this ABC because it is getting the error. So what will you do now? Have a look on the error. Error says runtime error 1004, unable to get the VLOOKUP property. So we can do one thing. We can use this on error here. What is it? That if the error comes, then what we would like to do. Okay, so you can say that on error resume next. Just write this line on the top. Okay, now if you're going to write this line on the top, then whatever the error will come, the VBA will not stop. It will finish the code. So if I run the code here, you see that there is no error, because you have said that on any error, because I know that this error can be there. After all, I'm applying the VLOOKUP. If you're not going to find something, then you shouldn't stop, you shouldn't give the error, but you just go ahead and just basically pass that value. Okay, bypass that value. So this is what exactly it means. Now what if you want to display here not available or not maybe something else, let's say not found? That cannot be done using this on error resume next. For that, you can do one thing. You can use the another line, which is another form of error. I have talked about the error handlers as well in my playlist. Just go there and watch just in case if you're interested. So we're going to write here on error go to. This is how you write, and let me give it a name called Ajay. Okay, I guess there is no space between go to. Now what happens when the error come? When the error come, then I want to run something very specific, which is I'm going to write it here. Okay, so what it would be, you have to write here Ajay colon and this column here. So here what I'm going to do is the same value which I'm going to pick here, I copy the entire code, or not necessarily, you just need to write, actually you just need to copy this line. So that the line which gives you the error, the position of the I which is going to give you the error, that cell, it should be, say that not found. Okay, and after it prints the not found, I guess you can say that resume next. Okay, that resume the next line. This is a wonderful video. I think this is a wonderful things we are doing here. So now let's go ahead and run this, and I just delete this everything, and let me just paste the values here, the same format. All right, so now I want to run this, but I'm gonna run this on the F8 mode. Let's have a look, guys. Now okay, there we go. And by the way, we can do one thing. Let me just move little here because I want to see this, what is happening. Yeah, that is much better. Okay, and I can further reduce this. Okay, and we can reduce this like this. Yeah, this is good. Okay, now let's run this. So the first time the loop will run here, and there will be no problem. I'm sure we will have 232. Next, again we will not have problem. Next, again we will not have problem. Now the next time when you run, you know that ABC is not there, this value, right? It's not there in that database, so it should give us the error. The moment it should give us the error, you see that it went to the Ajay colon part. Why? Because you have written here in VBA, read this line when you run this for the first time, that for any error you will have to go to the Ajay. So now you know that what is the value of the I. It is 4. So what we are doing here, it is again the 4, right? So in the F, 4 plus 3, which makes it 7. So we are going to print here not found. Wow. So you got the not found. Resume next means now go to the next line. The line which generated the error, just skip that. So now it should go to the next, and there we go, guys. And you know that the loop is finished. So now nothing should happen actually, right? So there we go, and it is again printing the value. So I guess this is not the way. This is little incorrect because we really don't want to see not found for this because of this line. So we can do one thing after the next here. After the next, we can do one thing. We can exit the macro because we will be through with our loop. Okay, so I'm going to delete everything here and we are going to run this again. I hope you're understanding the concept, right? Because this is how you work on the error handler. So we have not only used the loops here, but I'm also using the error handlers with the VLOOKUP, because in the VLOOKUP you can get the errors if the value which you are trying to find it out, it's not there. So let's go ahead and quickly and run this code. There we go. We got all the values. This line will give us the error. So if it is going to give us the error, then we will print the not found and resume next. Now the next time when this loop runs, you look at this, the macro stops, and we are fine with that. That's great, right? So I'm going to add here, let's say, a couple of more schools. So let's just add these 3, and I'm going to add them here, and let me add some dummy also, and let's say something, maybe this one as well. Now let's go ahead and run the code, and I'm not going to now run it on the F8 mode. Okay, let's run it quickly. Oh wow, this is great, right? You can obviously, you can go for the formatting part. You can design the database according to the formatting. Let me just give it a complete formatting. Yeah, so now let's just go ahead and run this macro. Oh, this is great. This is awesome, right? So what we did, guys, this is not only the VLOOKUP, but you also got to see that 2 kind of errors: on error, resume next, on error, go to, any name you can write here, right? So I was very specific. I did not want to leave that on error, everything on the on error, resume next, because if you leave on error, resume next, then what will happen? You will see here not found. It will be blank completely. So if you are looking forward to print something, then you can use this on error go to Ajay. Whichever line is going to give you the error, and you know that you're pretty much sure that this is the only line which can give you the error, rest of the lines are very fine. So you should go, it should go here, and on the same line which gives you the error, it should print, you know, this not found. Or you can also write here, I mean, not found instead of the not found, whatever you want to write, I mean, right, value not found, whatever you want to write. And then resume next means that go to the now next line, the line which given you the error, just go to, you know, the next to the, it's go to the next line of, you know, the very next line. So obviously you know that this, after this line we have a next word, so it goes to the next. So this is how, I mean, you can make this code. Now I want to further go ahead and you know, test this line. So for example, let us do one thing. This is the last thing I'm going to do. Let me do it in this way. Let me just do some spelling mistakes here, and now let me just delete this. Let's see if it is going to capture it or not. And there we go, guys. Perfect, right? It is working very nice. So in this way you can make your VLOOKUP, and if you have any questions, please just give your suggestions, give your feedback, give your whatever questions you have, put up your questions, and you have the comment section in the, you know, just below this video. So I will wait for your questions, feedback, whatever you want to give. Thank you so much, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. I will be back with some more videos very soon. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye.